Kubernetes architecture, we are discussing about it. In the previous video, we already discussed about all the components of control plane. Now we are going to talk about all the components of worker nodes. And we will also understand that how all these components are working together. Welcome to CloudFolks Zero to Hero Kubernetes series. My name is Bhavesh Atara. Let's start. This is actually picture, we are using it, and I already explained you about how this control plane components are communicating with each other. But let me repeat this very quickly. Here we have Kube Control. Kube Control is a command line utility of Kubernetes. It is going to talk with the API server. API server is getting requests. User requirement is to create 3 ports. Now, whenever your API server is going to get requests, it is going to talk with etcd. Etcd is a key value per database. So it is going to write desired state, like user requirement is to have 3 ports. And right now we have 0 ports. Then we have controller manager. Controller manager is always in watch mode. So it is always verifying the state. And it will verify that, okay, current requirement is to have 3 ports, but right now we have 0 ports. So it is always trying to match desired state with the current state. If you look at this particular picture, you will find out that user requirement is to have 3 ports, but right now we have 0 ports. So controller manager will create 3 ports, but it is just going to register these ports because we are running ports into the worker node, and we have to find out this worker node, and until it will be in the pending state, right? Controller manager cannot read etc directly. It is just finding out this desired state through the API server. Now we have another component of master node, which is known as scheduler. Now scheduler is responsible to find suitable node for this port. So scheduler will find out that, okay, we have 2 worker nodes based on the CPU, memory. It will decide that, okay, we will run port 1 into the worker node 1. We will run port 2 and 3 into the worker node 2. So the placement will be decided by scheduler, and this detail will be provided to API server. Now API server is going to communicate with worker node. Okay, so that's a process. Now API server is going to worker node, and then worker node will place this port into the specific worker node. Keep this in mind. Scheduler is just a decision maker. Okay, it is giving its decision to the API server. Then API server is going to communicate with worker node, right? Okay, now let's understand worker node. First of all, we need to understand components of worker node, and here if you look at the worker node, the main component of worker node is actually Kubelet. We can say that Kubelet is an agent of master node, right? So let's say that master node is USA and Kubelet is a CIA agent. It is actually going to send all the details of specific country to the master node. Same way, worker node having this Kubelet. When you attach any worker node with the master node, when you attach any worker node with the cluster, the master node will install this agent inside worker node. And whenever master node wants to communicate with worker node, API server will use this Kubelet, right? So let's say that here, scheduler decided that we are going to place this particular port into the worker node 1. So here, API server will contact Kubelet of that particular worker node, and it will inform, look, we want you to place 1 or 2 or 3 port inside your worker node. So Kubelet is now coming into the action because he got called from the boss that we have to place 1 or 2 or 3 port inside this particular worker node. Now Kubelet is going to talk with container runtime. Container runtime means we are using like a Docker. Docker is a container runtime, but Kubernetes is using containerd or CRIO, which is running inside your worker node. And in short, we can say that container runtime is responsible to create container, right? So once container runtime will get order from the kubelet, from the agent, it will pull the image if not present, create a container, and then container runtime will give status to the kubelet. Look, you gave me responsibility to create container and I have created this. Okay, so it is going to report the status. Now kubelet is going to inform this to boss as well. So it will inform API server that you gave me responsibility and I have created this port. Now once the boss will get this detail, it is going to the etcd and it will write down that, okay, now we have 3 out of 3, means desired state is 3 and currently running port is 3. So everything is good. Still this controller manager and cellular is actually verifying this. If there will be any changes, controller manager will find out that, okay, desired state is 3, current state is 2. So I have to create port. Again, scheduler will place this port and this will run in the loop for all the time. Okay, so these are like steps. Now let me repeat this because this will be the final process and you will get complete idea. Okay, look, user send request, user always send request through the kubelet. In normal circumstances we can use REST API, all this, but that we will discuss. Then API server store the desired state in etcd like 0, 3. User requirement is to have 3 port. Right now we have 0. Controller watches for the changes and it will find out that, okay, we need to create 3 ports. Controller create desired number of ports. Here port is just registered. They don't have worker node. So port status will be in a pending. Scheduler detect the unscheduled port and scheduler assign the base node. It will decide worker node based on the current capacity and the resources. Port is bound to the node. Kubelet on the node picks up the port. Container runtime pulls the image. Containers are created and started. Status is reported back to API server, means kubelet provide this status to API server and user see running port. And when you will go to the kubelet, when you will go this command, you will find out 3 out of 3, means your 3 ports are now running. Okay. Now here I just provided you basic idea about how the things are working. If we are talking about more advanced, like we have controller manager here and controller manager having multiple controller. So in upcoming days when we will learn new things, we will also talk about controller related options at that time. Okay. There is a one cloud controller as well. So we are not discussing about it right now because in the advanced mode we will discuss about it, right? And as I'm talking about cloud, if you want to learn cloud like AWS, you can go to our website www.cloudfolkshub.com. Link is in description and we have best option to learn cloud. We have AWS cloud program. If you are IT professional, if you are student, or even if you are coming from career break, this program is perfect for you. This program will provide you a complete path to become certified, how to get job after completing course, how to create your resume, and we have every Friday live sessions as well. So we have on-demand training, we have live sessions as well, kind of new innovation, we call it hybrid training. So please visit our website, and if your goal is to become AWS solution architect, please check out the course as well. Thank you very much. For Kubernetes, we will meet again into the next episode, and I'm giving you promise that your Kubernetes journey will be super easy. Thank you. Goodbye.